anyone and everyone who shows up at Madison Square Garden for this upcoming Trump rally is a Nazi? That's a Nazi rally? Get the out of here. What kind of rallies are happening on the college campuses in New York City, in Union Square, where they're waving Hamas flags and kissing Yahya Sinwar photos?
His underlying premise is that, like, you're minimizing the Holocaust if you say that a guy who was the president of the United States of America, whose opinions and ideology closely align with Nazi ideology, who has literally praised Adolf Hitler, that is actually unacceptable. However, Hamas is Adolf Hitler. Like, dude, what are you saying? What are you saying? New reporting on Richie Torres. Speaking of people who go after Israel's enemies, no matter how big or small, Richie Torres, who once famously doxed a college professor for teaching about Israel's genocide, who famously last night played a clip completely out of context to say Hasan does not care. This is the largest Twitch streamer. This is Twitch's top earner, top dog, largest Twitch streamer, yada, yada, yada. This is what he's running around saying. A clip that he clipped, of course, out of context. I don't know where the fuck it is. I don't know. I can't see the OG tweet because, unfortunately, I'm blocked by him. So he posted about me behind the block. Okay. He posted it on his Instagram as well. 17-second clip. That's like 10p.
That's ridiculous.
And not a single person thought, this is weird. I wonder if there's more context to this statement. I wonder if he's like deliberately trying to defame someone. The answer is yes, he was. We went back and we found the actual original clip from the live stream and just played like 1 minute of it. Okay. Right click on the link in Hosbrod's tweet above the video. Wait, what do you mean? Oh, here you go. Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much. So that's the other part of this problem that many people that can't contend with. Like, the Palestinian resistance is not perfect. The leading streamer on Twitch, Hasan Piker, is an apologist for the sexual violence on October 7. It doesn't matter if the rape happened on October 7. It doesn't change the dynamic for me. Hasan declares before finally admitting that Palestinian resistance is not perfect. The social media influencer openly defends the rape and mass murder of Jews is not only accepted but celebrated in society. There is no point where I have ever accepted that or defended it. As a matter of fact, the clip that he fucking clipped out of context is me talking to a person saying, why don't you deny the rapes? Isn't that wonderful? Here, let's take a look at the longer clip.
That's ridiculous.
By the way, none of which justifies Israel's actions. So it doesn't even matter. None of this justifies that Palestinians have a right to dignity, a right to emancipation, a right to live fucking free lives, free from this occupation. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if fucking rapes happen on October 7. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for me even this much. Wow, I wonder why they clipped the beginning. So
Let's see.
That's the other part of this problem that many people that can't contend with. Like, the Palestinian resistance is not perfect. They're not like so good. They have magical bullets, and there's no criminal elements that could have conducted themselves very differently. Like, that doesn't change the dynamic for... Dude, I need to explain something here. I need to explain something here really quickly. Guys, you are being so fucking stupid. Like, this is a community full of like 30-plus-year-olds, okay? You are literally watching an American elected representative literally defame me. There is intent to defame here by clipping something out of context. And I'm showing you the full context of it. And your reaction to it is, oh my God, 3 Hasans. Oh my God, a reaction within a reaction within a reaction. Please, laser focus, eyes on the prize here, okay? Dial in. Be fucking serious. All right? Torres isn't saying you denied it. I'm confused. Yes, he's saying I'm justifying it. He's saying he is saying that I think it's good that it happened and that I think that it is fine that it happened. I never said that. My argument here, contextually, is against someone who is claiming no rapes happened. Why are you saying that rapes even happened without evidence? And I'm describing to them that there is evidence, okay? But regardless of that evidence, that still does not change the dynamic of genocide, okay? That still doesn't mean that Israel can go in and destroy all matter of Palestinian lives and livelihood, okay? That does not give Israel the justification to do genocide. Palestinians still have, Palestinians are still human beings, okay? Worthy of dignity. That's the point. It's like me saying, I would never say rape is good, and then someone fucking clipping just the last part of that to say, see, Hassan says rape is good. Like, that's what's going on here. Are you fucking stupid? Can you not understand what's happening here? Anyway, it's great. Good stuff overall. But HasanAbi Productions also goes further and from that same stream shows different parts where I talk about that rapes did happen. There's evidence in terms of firsthand accounts and testimony, so that part is real. Once again, Hassan never denied rapes happening on October 7. He replies a straw man. Future U.S. President Richie Torres was commenting on Hassan's claims that rape doesn't matter, not whether or not he's saying if they happen or not. No, dude, I am saying that rapes happening on October 7 does not give Israel the right to genocide the Palestinians. It's very clear what I'm saying. Okay? It's wild that you have a elected representative like sitting in fucking Congress 11 days out from the election, okay? And this is what he is like, doing busy work with. What's the counter here is what someone should ask Richie Torres that like that rapes occurring give Israel the right to genocide Palestinians? Is that what you're saying? It is what he's saying, by the way. I've seen 3 videos of you saying sexual assault did not occur is such a funny fucking thing to say when we are currently watching me, like, I've seen at least 3 videos of you denying sexual violence occurred is such a funny fucking lie to tell when it's in front of you. It's in front of you. I'm literally saying you can watch the videos. It is readily available on my fucking YouTube. Anyway, this is something to also remember. Richie Torres represents the poorest district in the U.S., but he mentions Israel 236% more than he mentions poverty. It's so wild. The mania in display, the hallucinations in display. Truth does not matter. A lot of these people fancy themselves to be smarter than the fucking Trump hogs, right? They're like, nah, those guys are fucking stupid. They're crazy. They just like deny evidence that's right in front of them. And it's true. They are stupid. But why are you behaving like them? How are you any different than a fucking Trump Republican? How are you any different than a fucking QAnon weirdo if you look in front of your eyes and look at the actual coverage and go, I don't believe you. It's like, just watch, dude. Just watch. It doesn't make any fucking sense. Anyway, speaking of Richie Torres, here's a scoop from Zeteo. For the last year, far-right and pro-Trump donors have been helping raise six figures for Congressman Richie Torres with fundraisers and organizing. One has a history leading a movement designated as a terror organization in Israel and the United States. What Zeteo can exclusively reveal is that Torres has been happy to take money from wealthy businessmen such as Ron Tarosian and Michael Sinensky, who have ties to Donald Trump, the Likud party, and the pro-Israeli far right. Tarosian told Zeteo that according to Torres, he has been his number one fundraiser since October 7. Torres visited these men's homes and was hosted by them at fundraisers while they espoused views that American Jews would be endangered if Harris won, and that Jewish leaders like Senator Schumer was a capo. Ron Tarosian did more than just host Torres for a night on the Upper East Side. He has spent the last year supporting the lawmaker, helping the Democrat launch a new political action committee called Chutzpah PAC, like chutzpah, and claims to have helped raise over $150,000 for him through a WhatsApp group called Jews for Richie Torres. Tarosian's network of New York area associates, including outspoken Trump supporter Michael Sinensky, who urged American Jews to align with neo-Nazis in comments first reported in The Intercept, held multiple fundraisers for Torres to add to his overflowing war chest while they discussed the danger to American Jews of a second Biden term. U.S. troops carried out rape and murder during the occupation in Iraq and were convicted. That still wouldn't give Iraq the right to carry out genocide against the people in the U.S. How stupid are some people? I know, but it doesn't matter. Genuine question. Why did these people wait for more than a year to start criticizing you? Your opinion and coverage did not change. Do you think this is a coordinated effort to possibly coming from one source that's trying to deplatform you? I mean, I think that, the opportunity warrants it, I guess. For a lot of people, maybe they just didn't see it before. I don't know. You forget that, like, most people don't know who the fuck I am. So when it's brought to their attention, they're like, ooh, let's get it going. It's because they see a chance. Yeah, I think like the only thing that changed in this circumstance is that there is a prominent former co-host of mine that like was running this, repackaged smear campaign in a very disingenuous fashion with the very same clips that are clipped out of context. And I think that a lot of people saw that there was motion there and tried to expand on it, tried to use it to their advantage. It is what it is. There's not really anything I can do about that. What? Mods, check this guy. Look at his Nazi, straight up Nazi. Mods already banned this guy. Yeah. He's already been clapped. It's just I like to think of the silver lining. Okay? It sounds weird for me to say this, but I think there is a silver lining to this. And the silver lining to this is simple. Okay? There's not a lot of motion for pro-Israeli sentiment. They've lost the moral argument in its entirety. They've lost control of the dissemination of information. There are far too many people who have independently arrived at the conclusion that what Israel is doing is unconscionable, even if they don't have the proper way of communicating it. Even if they don't think it's a genocide, they still think, yeah, this is fucked up. I don't like it. Okay? So in all of that, In all of that, it's an entirely online sentiment. What do you mean? The counter propaganda, or do you mean like the idea that the average American thinks like, yeah, this is kind of fucked up? Because the idea that like, yeah, the pro-Israeli sentiment is not entirely online. It's mostly mainstream outlets, and even mainstream outlets have been like, all right, we've gone a little overboard with this shit. So when you can't defend your position and you keep getting hammered over and over and over again, then what do? If you can't defend your position, then you have to attack people on the other side. That's it. They try to do it with Ta-Nehisi Coates. It doesn't matter. Ta-Nehisi Coates is a liberal media darling, so they can't take him out. So they'll come after people who are easier targets in general because they speak for 10 hours uninterrupted. If you speak for 10 hours uninterrupted, then, you can clip anything out of context in that process. But the silver lining here remains, which is the silver lining here remains. What is the silver lining? The targets are significantly smaller in influence and size. Okay? You can get like a victory here and there when you call the manager of weather.com to try to fucking pull an ad at the New York subway stations because like the woman in the ad is wearing a keffiyeh around her neck. You can call up JetBlue to be like, occupied Palestinian territories. Like, how dare you say Palestine or Palestinian territories? This is anti-Semitic. And you can get that off of the JetBlue map. Okay? The in-flight map. But that's nothing. That is not going to play a significant role in the grand scheme of things. You're not going to be able to put the toothpaste back in the fucking tube. It's out. Okay? That's it. They don't have enough motion. They don't have enough motion to target a broad enough audience, so they just go after people that they can take out. That's it. You only do this when you're fucking desperate, okay? Yeah, TV shows cropping out people wearing Palestinian symbols, Palestinian books being taken off Amazon, and now they're deleting Palestinian films. We are witnessing the erasure of Palestinian people and their representation in media. This is an act of desperation, okay? That's it. Swinging wildly instead of re-examining your opinions, instead of recognizing the humanity of the victims. You're just swinging wildly, utilizing the pre-existing hatred that a lot of people have for Arabs, a lot of people have for Islam in general, using that as an advantage to just like get some kind of leverage over institutions that are too scared and not knowledgeable enough and not led by knowledgeable enough people to take actions in this direction. The reality of the matter is this. All it takes is a person saying, nah, I'm not going to fucking do that. And then they'll move on. But a lot of institutions don't do that. A lot of institutions are too fearful. Last night's episode of Big Brother and Late in Live are now reappearing. They've edited out Ali's pro-Palestine watermelon t-shirt, which was reported to Ofcom. And they just they wiped out the fucking watermelon. Like, it's just, that's so silly. Like, you're not winning anything there. Like, no one is seeing that and going, oh wow, I'm pro-Palestine now. Like, no, you didn't do anything. I swear to God, if it wasn't for fucking TikTok, like, this shit would be dramatically different, I think. Netflix responds to activists criticizing Palestinian films removal. These licenses have now expired. A coalition led by Freedom Forward called on Netflix to reinstate 19 films by or about Palestinians that were part of a 3-year content licensing deal that has not been renewed. Netflix has responded to the backlash over it removing 19 films by or about Palestinians from the streaming platform in mid-October. In a statement, the streamer said that the Palestinian Stories collection with 32 films was launched in October 2021 as a part of a 3-year licensing deal. Those licenses have now expired. As always, we continue to invest in a wide variety of quality TV films and TV shows to meet our members' needs and celebrate voices from around the world. I mean, I get it. Like, it just, I believe it. We urge you to explain your decision and to reinstate every film about Palestinians that Netflix deleted last week. We are deeply concerned that Netflix's deletion of nearly its entire library of Palestinian films will further marginalize Palestinian voices at a time when over 2 million Palestinians in Gaza are being subjected to genocide by the Israeli military. Letter to Reed Hastings, founder and executive chairman and co-CEO of Greg Peters and Ted Taranto, stated, after Netflix responded to activist pushback, Sanjeev Berry, executive director of Freedom Forward, in his own statement, criticized the licensing deal being allowed to expire. Why didn't Netflix renew the licensing deal under which it carried these 19 Palestinian films? It's a $300 billion company that can afford to renew the license for the movies and films that it cares about. Palestinians are experiencing extraordinary suffering. Yeah, I don't know if this is like directly because these movies and these films were like actually doing fantastic, and Netflix, like, against all odds, still refused to renew their licenses, specifically because they didn't want to upset like pro-Israeli people or whatever. I don't know if that's the case. I can't make that inference here. It seems like they just did not renew their licenses. I'm not sure if you heard of Israeli who called for the death of all Arabs on TV in Germany. Sorry for the spam. Forgot to add a larger strong context in my statement. Yeah. Anyway, where were we? We'll get to all of this. Is this a larger realignment than after 9/11? No. It's getting there, but it's not as bad. It is getting there, though. But no. I think you see it online a lot more. It's like significantly more insane online, where people have the capacity to be as unhinged as they want to be online. But the reason why it's nowhere near as insane is because there is how do I describe this? There was no opportunity for naysayers. The internet wasn't as diverse and as like and wasn't as like used at the time due to technological limitations in 2001. So there wasn't like other avenues of information. It wasn't as accessible. And also beyond that, it was America that was directly attacked. So the public sentiment was way more primed for Arab hate and Islamophobia than when Israel is fighting against Israel, an entirely different foreign nation, doing all of this is a little bit different in the eyes of the American population. That's why you have like 54% of Republicans that are like, yeah, I'm fine with the ceasefire. What the fuck's going on here? You see what I mean? Like, there is no world in which the Republican Party post 9/11 would be like, we should do a ceasefire in Afghanistan or Iraq, right? That's not a thing. And mainstream media was, of course, significantly more powerful in terms of influencing people. Back then, they had a complete hold over the American population. There was no other like avenue of independent information unless you went to like forums or some shit. All right, let's see what this new Trump ad is.
Did you watch the news lately? Israel's under attack, anti-Semitism like I never thought I would see.
Did you hear about Samantha's boy Max?
No.
He got spit on just walking at Penn.
Wait, is this the ad that Felix was talking about when he said these are like definitely Christian women? Is this the ad that he was talking about? Felix was talking about this ad. He's like, they got like 3 Christian ladies to do like almost like an anti-Semitic voice.
Did you watch the news lately? Israel's under attack, anti-Semitism like I never thought I would see.
Did you hear about Samantha's boy Max?
No.
He got spit on just walking at Penn.
I mean, that's scary. What about Kamala?
Busy defending the squad.
Ay vey. You know, Trump I never cared for, but at least he'll keep us safe.
I never voted Republican in my life, but I am voting Trump.
Amen. RJC.
Oh, that's awesome. That's sick. She said, yeah, too busy defending the squad. Oh, that's so sick. This is mint. Great ad, dude. Yeah. We're voting for the guy who was like, I love Adolf Hitler and I want my generals to be like Adolf Hitler, except not kill me or not try to kill me like Adolf Hitler's generals did. Dude, that has been the funniest saga with the Trump said he wants Adolf Hitler generals, has been like watching Republicans try and defend that. Some of them are doing like the clean Wehrmacht theory. Others are just simply saying he was blowing off steam. It's like a very funny situation. You just don't have to report it if you don't feel the need to, but they're still doing it. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff overall happening in the Republican Party. Oh, that's great. Sagar saying that Hitler had amazing generals. Yeah, so amazing. So amazing. Yeah. I just haven't really heard from Richie Torres or the ADL about Donald Trump saying he praises Hitler's generals and wants Hitlerian generals. It's just weird. They're too busy, I guess, coming after Frogan for saying that Sabra hummus is shit. Interesting. It's just interesting. I don't know. It just kind of seems to me like that is pretty fucking big in terms of like normalizing anti-Semitism. Like when you have two candidates, and one of them is like doing Hitlerian policy, saying he likes Adolf Hitler, repeating Adolf Hitler's own fucking terminology and words, like verbatim, saying immigrants are poisoning the blood of this nation. And also simultaneously being like, I think Hitler's generals were great and they should be like, my generals should be like them. And last but not least, if I lose, Jews are responsible for it. Number 6, why won't you Jews vote for me? I gave you everything about Israel. All of this stuff Donald Trump has done. What's the ADL doing? The leading fucking group that is supposed to be tasked with combating anti-Semitism, trying to take out Twitch streamers, deplatforming Twitch streamers. Kind of feels to me like they're not up to the task. I don't know. I wonder why the ADL doesn't go after Donald Trump. Perhaps, I don't know, Miriam Adelson giving Donald Trump $100 million so that Donald Trump will advocate to fucking annex the West Bank. That could have something to do with it because the ADL is significantly more interested in defending Israel, the Apartheid Defense League, than actually combating anti-Semitism. And the only reason why they act like they want to combat anti-Semitism is so that they can cynically use anti-Semitism as a deflection or as a shield to defend Israel's actions. Trump praises Hitler. ADL remains silent. Did you know that 2 separate stories dropped this week in which former Trump officials said he praised and admired Hitler while in office during his first term? No, it's possible you didn't. It wasn't on the front page of major newspapers. It didn't warrant major cable news segments. The Anti-Defamation League didn't even consider it worthy of a response. To put a finer point on it, the Republican candidate for the presidential election taking place in less than 2 weeks openly praised Hitler, and it was met with a yawn. How do we get here? How is this happening? For background, The Atlantic published a story with details of a disturbing conversation. As his presidency drew to a close, and in the years since, he has become more and more interested in the advantages of dictatorship and the absolute control over the military it believes it would deliver. I need the kind of generals that Hitler had, Trump said in a private conversation in the White House, according to 2 people who heard him say this. Then an interview with former Chief of Staff John Kelly, published by The Times on Tuesday evening, included this bit. Trump told him that Hitler did some good things. Mr. Kelly confirmed previous reports that on more than one occasion, Mr. Trump spoke positively of Adolf Hitler. He commented more than once that, Hitler did some good things too, Mr. Kelly said. Mr. Trump told him. Mr. Kelly said that Mr. Trump had little appreciation for history. I think he's lacking in that, he said. But said he would still try to explain to Mr. Trump why those comments about Hitler were problematic. The ADL remains silent on Trump reportedly admiring Hitler right as it's revealed that the University of Michigan actively recruited Michigan Attorney General to inordinately punish pro-Palestine students, something Rashida Tlaib was loudly attacked by the ADL for criticizing. So, though the story failed to be a media priority, I figured the ADL, the country's most prominent Jewish nonprofit with a mission of combating anti-Semitism in all forms, would have something to say. Yet when I looked at their website, I saw nothing aside from an announcement of a concert against hate hosted by Ben Stiller and featuring Sia. The social media feed were similarly void of any reference to Trump and Hitler. So on Wednesday afternoon, I reached out with a brief synopsis of Trump's positive comments on Hitler and asked if the ADL had made a comment. More than 24 hours later, silence. I followed up Thursday morning and reached out via multiple social platforms to the organization and its CEO, Jonathan Greenblatt. Still nothing. The ADL's failure to address Trump praising Hitler isn't shocking, given their selective outrage in the past year about which Jews are worthy of defense and the fact that they honored Jared Kushner with an award earlier this year. Greenblatt issued a rare rebuke of Trump in September after the Republican candidate said, if I don't win this election, the Jewish people would really have a lot to do with that if that happens. But other than that, Greenblatt has continually shown his willingness to kowtow to power, whether it be Trump or Elon Musk, and the current silence is galling. Remember when the ADL, again, the largest nonprofit in the United States that is tasked with combating anti-Semitism, looked at what Elon Musk had co-signed on his own social media platform, which is filled to the brim with Nazis, where a user on Twitter said Jews are getting their comeuppance after they did unrestricted immigration from the third world into the Western nations, Western civilization, in an effort to destroy it. Elon Musk's response to that, which, by the way, is one of the most common Nazi statements, like not a dog whistle, straight up Nazi sentiment. That is exactly the same kind of sentiment that led to the worst anti-Semitic hate crime on U.S. soil in recent memory, in the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting. The shooter, who was a Trump supporter, by the way, openly said that he was attacking this synagogue because he believed that the Great Replacement was real, something that, of course, Tucker Carlson and many other Republicans have said time and time again, the notion that like immigration is actually being used to undermine the white majority in this country to make America less white. And also, it was being directed by Jews, okay? The idea that George Soros, this is the more permissible form of this anti-Semitism that people openly say on Fox News, is George Soros, who is Jewish, a Holocaust survivor, is the puppeteer behind unrestricted migration into the United States by black and brown people. Scary stuff. The synagogue shooter in Pittsburgh said those things, said exactly why he was doing this unimaginable anti-Semitic hate crime. He said he went into that synagogue and shot the attendees, specifically because, and this was happening in the same time frame when there was another migrant caravan, if you remember, okay, another migrant caravan coming into the United States, which Fox News kept reporting as George Soros's migrant caravan. He went into that synagogue and shot the attendees because he wanted to stop unrestricted immigration that he believed was caused by Jews. Okay? The reason why I brought all of this is because Elon Musk co-signed on that idea less than a year ago. But then the ADL went to Elon Musk and said, you can't say that. Elon Musk then said, my bad, what can I do? The ADL said, be pro-Israel publicly, go to Israel. That's what happened. Elon Musk went to a Holocaust museum, and then he went to Israel, and then he talked about how fucking bad, Hamas is, and yada, yada, yada. And then Jonathan Greenblatt came out and defended Elon Musk. This was so controversial that the former president of the ADL at the time was like, what the fuck are you doing? What the absolute fuck are you doing? This guy literally repeated and co-signed on one of the most dangerous anti-Semitic lies that you can fucking agree to, and you're here defending him? So if you want to understand the Apartheid Defense League's priorities, look no further than that. Okay? That incident perfectly demonstrates what the ADL actually cares about. The ADL does not care about anti-Semitism. The ADL has changed the markers of anti-Semitism and has padded the fucking deck with like real incidents of anti-Semitism and what they claim are incidents of anti-Semitism. Like, for example, when someone graffitis "Free Palestine" on a fucking sidewalk. That is now logged as a real anti-Semitic incident in this country, an anti-Semitic hate crime in this country. Ridiculous. At a time when anti-Semitism is on the fucking rise, real anti-Semitism, not like someone said "Free Palestine" or was wearing a fucking keffiyeh. Okay? Real anti-Semitism is on the rise in this fucking country. At a time when real anti-Semitism is on the rise in this country, to dilute anti-Semitism with like cynical weaponizations of what are in normal circumstances, according to the ADL, like 2 years ago, not considered anti-Semitic incidents is ridiculous. It's not only ridiculous, it's fucking dangerous. It's especially dangerous in a country like the United States of America, where people already have that. Like, people are already primed to be anti-Semitic. Okay? If you conflate anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism at a time when anti-Semitism is on the rise, in an effort to silence critics of Israel, you are going to get people to lean more into anti-Semitism. Okay? People that don't understand this stuff because of their social conditioning, because of their lack of knowledge, lack of interest, are going to be like, well, what the fuck? I guess Jews do control the media. That's inherent. That is anti-Semitic. Okay? That is anti-Semitic beliefs that you are supposed to be combating. It's so crazy. It's very, very, very frustrating to experience this shit. It is. Why fixate on the response of one nonprofit organization? Well, because the ADL, with Greenblatt as their public face, has positioned itself as the arbiter of what is and what is not anti-Semitic. Whether you're reading an article, it cites a figure about the number of anti-Semitic incidents in the country. That's likely a stat from the ADL's annual audit. In the wake of the October 7th attacks in Israel, they frequently conflated anti-Zionism with anti-Semitism. So much so that Wikipedia editors voted in June to designate the organization as generally unreliable. A generally unreliable source on anti-Semitism, but they're still considered an authority on the wants and needs of American Jews. They're still utilized as the primary resource by mainstream media. This dangerous conflation has led to the unfair persecution of Jews against Israel's mass murder of Palestinians, including a Harvard student who was accused of anti-Semitism for posting protest posters ahead of Yom Kippur. There is no world in which this makes it safer to be Jewish. Greenblatt found the time in the past 2 days to tweet about his loathing for Jewish pro-Palestine students, but didn't have a moment to spare for the single most terrifying thing an American Jew could read, that the potential next president thinks Adolf Hitler was good. It is so goddamn alarming. I do not know how to explain this to people. I feel like a lot of people are just like, they're done. They're like, no, I've already written you off. You're a fucking Hamas sympathizer. You hate Israel. You hate Jews. You this, you that. Okay. I believe the fucking cynical smears despite your fucking endless coverage on all of these issues that I could easily, with one fucking Google search, find out for myself. I have chosen, instead of watching the actual fucking videos, watching your actual commentary on the matter, I've decided that it makes me feel much more comfortable to run with the assumption that you are an anti-Semitic rape denier, maybe even a Holocaust denier. Who knows? One whole fucking year of this shit. I'm a Muslim whose friend group is made of 99% Jewish people, all of whom are pro-Palestine and got blacklisted from our local synagogue because of it. My friends are now more vulnerable because of this rhetoric, not less. It's terrifying. Yeah. Do you have any good arguments to try to counter the Jews control the world rhetoric that I hear from people falling into anti-Semitism? I really see my family falling more and more into it. Yes. The argument is simple. Jews are not a monolithic force, okay? They are not a monolithic force. They're your fucking neighbors. They're your teachers. They're the guy driving the fucking Uber, okay? And just like every other group, they have a multitude of different wants and interests. They are not a singular force in this country that is that is motivated by one thing and one thing only, no matter how hard mainstream media and defenders of Israel try to claim that that is the case. Okay? If Jews controlled the world or the media or whatever, why the fuck would anti-Zionist Jews be getting arrested on college campuses? Like, how the fuck does that work? Are they God's chosen people or not? How does this work? This is the other side that is also very damaging. This is the other side of what's so damaging about like silencing anti-Zionist Jews deliberately or tokenizing them, calling them fake Jews or whatever the fuck. You're like, nah, it's monolithic actually. Yeah, the real question is, if the Jews control the world, why has a Jew never been the most powerful person on the planet, aka United States president? Yeah, or a better question, there was a Jew who could have been that guy, and they fucking destroyed him. Bernard motherfucking Sanders. Also, I keep forgetting that Jill Stein is Jewish too, but that's besides the point. Okay. But like, again, Bernard motherfucking Sanders, dude. Why is it that one of the most prominent anti-Israel critics in American Congress is not only Jewish himself, but literally fucking lived in a kibbutz? Why? Yeah, remember this? Pro-Israel super PAC, pro-Israel Democratic super PAC, remember that in 2020? Takes aim at Bernie Sanders in Iowa. The Democratic majority for Israel. I remember covering this back in the day. I thought it was really funny because I was like, you guys don't understand. Americans are too stupid to think that like a Jewish person could ever be anti-Semitic. Like, Americans don't work that way. Okay? Like, this shit didn't work even a little bit. And it's entirely because Americans, like, you cannot explain to someone in fucking Iowa that a Jewish person could possibly be anti-Semitic, which Bernie is not, obviously. But, like, even if, and I'm not saying that, like, Jews can't be anti-Semitic. Of course they can be. I mean, fucking Rabbi Shmuley exists. Ben Shapiro exists, okay? Any Jewish person that keeps saying like, "Oh, you're a bad Jew, you're a capo," to fucking Jewish Voice for Peace activists are literally being anti-Semitic. Having said that, good luck explaining that to a white guy in Iowa. Okay, like they're just like, "What? You're telling me this old Jew is anti-Semitic? Okay, shut the fuck up." Is what their response would be.
The most important thing is we have to beat Trump.
We've seen the damage that Trump and the Republican Congress have done.
I doubt if Bernie Sanders can beat Trump.
I like Bernie. I think he has great ideas. But Michigan, Pennsylvania, Iowa, they're just not going to vote for a socialist.
I do have some concerns about Bernie Sanders' health, considering the fact that he did have a heart attack.
I think it's very important that the Democrats...
This is the ad that they ran. DMFI and all of these other like pro-Israel groups are so funny because they rarely ever hit that on like the angle of like they rarely, these are all staffers by the way, yeah, they rarely ever fucking talk about like Israel because they know that that's not going to actually perform well. It's always some other shit. Oh, they're not electable, they didn't collaborate with Joe Biden hard enough. That's what they did with Jamal Bowman, that's what they did with Cory Bush. It's just like, because they know that if they were to go to fucking Missouri and be like, well, Cory Bush is like not the number one defender of Israel, and that's really fucked up, most people will be like, okay, great.
Nominate somebody that can beat Trump.
I don't feel as though Bernie Sanders would do well against Donald Trump.
I just don't think Bernie can beat Trump.
DMFI. Anyway. Remember the anti-Semitic shirt they have for Bernie? Official DNC gift shop gear. Wait, they what? I don't remember this. What the fuck? I don't think Bernie could have beaten Donald Trump is such a silly thing. Bernie would have fucking gutted Donald Trump. Bernie would have eviscerated Donald Trump. Middle East war hits home in Michigan, threatening Slotkin in tight Senate race. Oh no. Slotkin has to say the Shahada, okay? Michael Rappaport is doing an apology at gatekeeping, calling Trump Hitler.
Trump pig.
Wait, what is this? Zionists think the lesson of the Holocaust was the Nazis were uniquely evil and the Holocaust was a unique occurrence, when the actual lesson was fascism is extremely seductive and anyone can become a Nazi. Yeah. Let's hear what fucking... Listen, there are Hitlers out there for those with eyes to see, okay? Michael Rappaport is a Hitlerian guy, okay? There is no other way to put it. He is Mr. Adolf himself, okay? So it's not shocking to me that he is going to be running some kind of fucking defense for Donald Trump's Hitler quotes. Let's take a look.
Donald Trump, pig Donald Trump, call him whatever you want. I've given you gem after gem for years.
Yeah, he's giving gems. Yeah, dude, you really did. You really gemmed it up, dude. Pig Donald Trump. That was brilliant when you came up with that. Thank you.
But stop with the Hitler shit. Stop with the Hitler shit. Do not refer to Hitler and the Holocaust, the actual greatest slaughter and actual genocide of the Jewish people ever, for attention and political.
Oh, by the way, at the top of the hour, there's a 3-minute ad break, and that is the most anti-Semitic you will ever get me on, by serving all of the HasanAbi heads who are Jewish a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour, unless they subscribe. That's right. Not that it matters, but Jewish, Muslim, Christian, Buddhist, you will get a 3-minute ad break. You will get it. It's 20 minutes in the hour. Yeah, I'm fucking up today. Okay, shut up. Also, ideology.shop. If you would like to not use it, if you would like to use your dollars in a different direction, the new election collection is out today at ideology.shop. Here's a 3-minute ad break now. Do you remember when AIPAC ousted a Jewish congressperson? Yeah, Jews safe. You can literally tell your parents, hey, remember when he said Nazis that were saying Jews will not replace us were very fine people? Just start the conversation there. You know, that's a good avenue to start this discussion, this discourse. Like, anyone that thinks Donald Trump is good for Jews is fucking insane. I tried. They just say he doesn't mean it. That's crazy. I mean, they might be lost in the sauce, to be fair. Like that was just a starting point. Donald Trump has said unimaginable, unhinged shit, defended Nazis. Donald Trump literally fucking had dinner with a prominent neo-Nazi by the name of Nick Fuentes and Kanye West, who at the time was also praising Adolf Hitler. Okay? Like, what the fuck? It's not even the media comparing Trump to Hitler. Trump literally said he wanted Hitlerian generals. The fuck is... Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yep, they think Kamala is anti-Semitic for being Palestinian. Wait, what? They think Kamala Harris is Palestinian? Okay, well, your parents are hallucinating. I don't know what to tell you, okay? Sorry, they're fucking gone. At the time, as if Ye stopped. Oh, yeah, that's true. We don't even know. I just don't know what fucking Ye's new manic proposals look like.
Saying that anyone and everyone who shows up at Madison Square Garden for this upcoming Trump rally is a Nazi? That's a Nazi rally? Get the f*** out of here. What kind of rallies are happening on the college campuses in New York City, in Union Square, where they're waving Hamas flags and kissing Yahya Sinwar photos? What kind of rallies are that? Do not mention the Holocaust.
I like that his underlying premise... His underlying premise is that, like, you're minimizing the Holocaust if you say that a guy who was the president of the United States of America, whose opinions and ideology closely align with Nazi ideology, who has literally praised Adolf Hitler, okay, on multiple occasions, that is actually unacceptable. However, Hamas is Adolf Hitler. Like, dude, what are you saying? What are you saying? You just, like, what do you mean? Don't call Donald Trump a Nazi. You know who's a fucking Nazi? Yahya Sinwar. Like, what the fuck? They got Palestine flags that they're waving. It's like Nazi flags. Yeah. Yeah, the real Madison Square Garden. The real Madison Square Garden Nazi rallies are happening at Columbia campus. It's called the Jewish Voice for Peace. Those are the real Nazi rallies. Those little they, them, non-binary English mages. They're the real Nazis. Don't you dare minimize the Holocaust by saying Donald Trump is like a Nazi, even though he keeps saying he is a Nazi. All right, don't you dare do that. Yes, in war. Oh, Jesus Christ, dude.
Hitler to score political points when you ignore the greatest slaughter of Jews since the actual Holocaust.
Like, I like it. He's just so unaware. He's so unaware of what he's saying. He's just like, it's minimizing the Holocaust to compare Donald Trump to Adolf Hitler. It's not minimizing the Holocaust to compare Adolf Hitler to Yahya Sinwar. Like, Donald Trump is literally German, dog. His great grandpappy probably fucking fought during the Nazi regime and not on the good side, okay? Oh, that's so funny. Oh, yeah.
Which happened on October 7th. All this Hitler talk, all this Holocaust talk, with so little Holocaust studies in schools. Do not bring up Hitler and Nazis when there are 101 hostages. 101 hostages, and you say nothing about them. Cut the shit. Do not use Nazis and Hitler for your agenda when you haven't mentioned the 13 women that are still being held captive today while you're wearing your futurist female t-shirt. It's disgusting. It's disrespectful to the victims and survivors of the Holocaust and to the real-time victims and survivors and the hostages of October 7th. Stop it.
Okay, I gotta say something here, by the way. I saw something here, and this is a direct shot across the bow to fucking Austin show. Look, I'm no big city lawyer, but the Vikings had a fantastic run this year, okay? So far. And then they posted this statement from the Minnesota Vikings on the 1-year anniversary of the reprehensible Hamas attacks on Israel. And ever since then, their run has stopped. I don't know what happened, but wait, who here watched me fucking talk about how the Lions were gonna fucking rip the Vikings defense? On the Fear M podcast and shocked the world and shocked Austin. Jets also 0-2 after they fired their Lebanese coach for wearing a small flag on his arm. Go after Will too. I know. Detroit till I die, motherfucker. Detroit Rock City, bitch. Anyway. Let's move on.